Welcome to today's practice of exploring and embodying emotion. And so we'll use a blend of inquiry with writing and also feeling and movement for this. You'll need a little bit longer than the length of this video because you'll be pressing pause to journal and feel into what's alive in you. So with that, have a notepad, sketchbook, something, paper and pen nearby. And we'll just take a moment to settle, to land, to arrive. Resting the weight of your body, the weight of your bones into the ground. Begin to breathe in and down into your pelvic floor, your legs, your feet. And sigh it out on the exhale. Breathing in and down through your nose to the base of your body. And exhale with sound. And now, very slowly, bring your hands towards each other. And with your eyes closed, through your sense of touch, feel your hands coming closer together, the energy building between your hands. Maybe you can feel some warmth, some heat, a pulse. Going so slowly as you tune in to making contact with yourself. As you tune in to meeting yourself. Hands continue to move closer and closer, but going only as fast as you can feel into the meeting, this moment to moment, self to self. And when your hands do touch, go so slowly. First, it's a skin to skin touch. Of your fingers finding each other. So slowly. And then your palms. Light, sensitive, skin to skin. And then begin to deepen the contact as if it's now the muscles of your hands to the muscles of your hands. Pressing your hands a little more firmly together. Noticing the quality of your attention and your contact. And then meeting bone to bone. Noticing the quality of your attention and contact. And slowly coming out from bone to muscle, from muscle to skin. From skin to energy. To space. So that practice was a little practice of yielding into and out of contact. And we can do this through touch. We can do this through touching into or making contact with our felt sense and our emotions, especially the tender ones. It's important that we yield in and out of contact with these tender and vulnerable places within. If we go in abruptly, they tend to get shy and disappear. And if we come out abruptly, it can leave those places feeling more vulnerable, abandoned, and rejected. So this practice of yielding into and out of relationship, it goes way beyond just touching hand to hand. It's really a relational practice that can be applied to any relationship, to self, other, and environment. So now you can take out your notepad and pen and see if you can do this more by feel, feeling into this inquiry through your whole body and journaling from there, rather than just what might feel like an up here analysis of. So what you're going to write about is your emotional landscape and the emotions that are arising in and through you in your day-to-day at the moment. So you'll write down some situations. So it might be to do with your land and house build. It might be to do with your kids. It might be to do with you and Matt. It could be you and surfing. So you're just writing down some life situations, current life situations, and then the emotions that come up with them. And so this might be a moment that you press pause and keep going. Let's go for about 5 different situations, because I know there's at least 5 and probably plenty more happening. And then at least 3 emotions for each one. And you might circle the main emotion or the primary, the one that pops up first. And so you can press pause and give yourself more time here. And then when you feel complete with your list and list of emotions, you can play again. Okay. I changed location. It was a bit noisy out there. So now you have your list of life situations and emotions, and we're going to deepen the inquiry one layer further. I want you to revisit each situation and the emotions associated with it, and consider the strategies that you use to avoid feeling those feelings all the way through. For example, if it's, let's say, I'm just going to make something up, but let's say it's a relational piece, and the emotions associated with that are joy, aliveness, and sadness, and contraction, let's say. What you might do to avoid those feelings is go surfing, for example. So we want to look for what we do to try and relieve ourselves from the discomfort of the emotions that arise in the face of these situations. Not to make it wrong or bad, but just to have more understanding of our ways of coping and dealing with life. And this ultimately leads to more capacity to feel, and then more choice, more capacity to choose. So you can go back to the first situation, the first emotions, and consider, okay, so when these arise in me, do I feel them fully all the way through? If so, great. When and how is that possible? And if not, what are the things I do to minimize these emotions? And so you're going to go through one by one the situations and all of the emotions. So this could take some time, or it might come really quickly to you. So you can pause here to do that. Okay, so once you feel complete with that, you have this map of these scenarios in your life, the emotions associated with them, and the strategies you use to not feel the emotions. This is good information, and that's all it is. It's just information in a way to know yourself and tendencies and patterns a little bit better. Now, you're going to look at your sheet of paper or sheets from the eyes of your heart, from a lens of compassion and care for all the ways that you cope. Looking onto this map of you with love, with deep compassion. Even if waves and layers of frustration, or shame, or guilt, or sadness, joy and pride, whatever arises, looking on to that through your heart. So this in itself, what you've just moved through, this process, is a pretty deep and rich experience in itself. So if you need to go on and do other things, you could do that now. If you have time and space and want to continue, then we'll bring this even more deeply into the body. And we're just going to work with one emotion for this practice, and then you have the whole range to play with and to move through in your own time and practice. So I want you to choose one of these life situations and one of the emotions associated with them. One that, let's say, you actively avoid or resist in some form on a pretty regular basis. And you can write this emotion on a blank sheet in big letters. Okay, once you've written it down, for example, here, you're going to do that same practice of making contact, but this time making contact with your hand to the page, to the word, like you're touching into this emotion so slowly. So start to feel your way into your body. Bring your awareness into your hand. And feel your awareness, your attention moving towards this emotion. And perhaps you can start to feel the texture of this emotion through your hand. The energy, the quality. Pausing whenever you need to. If you feel like you're kind of drifting, checking out, you pause and hover. You might not touch the page today. Breathe your way back into your body, back into your hand. Feel the emotion on the page, the space between your page and the hand, in your hand. Take a deep breath into that. And if you can, move a little closer. Going as slowly as it takes to feel your body. At some point, your hand might arrive to the page, and as you make contact, it's just like when we went skin to skin, muscle to muscle, bone to bone. We're going skin to page, and then deepening in. So it's more than just the page. You're contacting the emotion from the surface of your hand to the surface of the emotion. And then as if you could deepen a layer, the middle of your hand to the middle of the emotion. Feeling and breathing that emotion into your body, through your body. Imagining it like waves of energy rippling through you, moving in, through, and out. And you just open and allow. Open and allow. And slowly begin to come out. Notice any rush, urgency, tendency to rip your hand away. We go slow. Slowly coming out. And then take a moment to move, wiggle, stretch, shimmy, allowing that energy to be in motion. And I encourage you to try this a few times per emotion or more than a few times. And the idea is here is that you're practicing yielding into and out of these emotions. So you can come into contact, deepen contact, and you can slowly come out. You can meet and individuate from. This way, you learn how to move in a fluid state into and out of emotional landscapes, and you allow them to move through you in a fluid state so that you're not getting stuck in avoidance, patterns of avoidance, or merging with or fusing with these states. So if you have any questions, this was kind of a multi-layered practice, and I imagine a lot will come up in this, places it feels easy, places that might seem a little bit confusing or like it's not quite possible. Please, please, please reach out with your questions or insights or anything you'd like to share. Much love.